welcome back to Popcast, the show where we try to cover all things pop culture. My name's Abby, I'm your host, and today I am joined by one of the most talented creative visionaries of our time. Please welcome the incomparable talent that is Mary Lou to the show.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here.
We had some technical difficulties getting on today. But
Sure did, but
we figured it out. We did. So for those who do not know you, could you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Mary Lou. I am a comedian, an improviser in sketch and comedy musicals and on the internet and live.
Woo! So what led you to like improv and comedy and stuff?
That's a really good question. I actually was a child actor.
Really?
So, I've been acting since I was, professionally, since I was 8 years old. On Disney and Nickelodeon and commercials and TV and all that jazz. And I actually started doing improv with other kids when I was like 8 or 10 and loved it and thought it was so fun, and then sort of fell out of it. In high school and middle school, I'm a big old nerd and I loved school, and so I focused more on school. And then in college, all my best friends were improvisers. All my best friends were the comedians. But I didn't do improv. I was more of a singer, an actor. And but I went to every show. And then when I came back home to LA, I figured, you know what? Why not try it? It's good for my resume. Everybody takes UCB 101 to do commercials. Looks really good for commercial casting directors. And so I took it. I fell absolutely in love. Just kept taking more classes. Made a bunch of friends. Found musical improv, which has become like my whole life. I love it so much, and just sort of never stopped.
I love that.
I started very young. Took a long break. Came back and never left.
And we'll get more into that musical improv later.
All right.
So you're also involved with Push the Roll with Ross Bryant, which is one of my all-time favorite podcasts. And you also play a lot of live TTRPGs, like live shows. How does playing in podcasting compare to playing live?
It is surprisingly not that different.
Really?
At least for tabletop games. Yeah, it's really not that different. As long as you have a good table of people that you like playing with, that you feel inspired by and creative with, I'm surprised by how not different it is. I think the only thing that can change my play or my choices is having an audience. I'm such a ham. I'm a performer, right? And I'm a comedian, which means I'm addicted to laughs. And so if something gets a laugh, like I can't not do it.
Exactly.
I have to keep doing it. And so if the audience really latches onto something and they're really laughing, like I'm gonna hit that thing extra hard. But we're always making each other laugh even when there's no audience. And so it definitely feels more electric, maybe a little more wild, a little more crazy live, because of the energy that the audience gives you can sometimes lead to like snowball effects of crazy choices. But I'm surprised by how not different it is without an audience. It's still a great game if you love playing the game.
Yeah. I had Nick Williams on, who's like part of Realm and all that stuff, and we talked a lot about tabletop and stuff, and he's done a couple live shows, and that was one of my most fun episodes I've ever done.
Really? Cool.
Yeah, because I'm like really into all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's the best.
So going back to the whole musical comedy thing, recently you played Andrea in CityWalk the musical, which when you texted me that you wanted to do the interview, I was actually listening to CityWalk on my way home from a voice lesson. So I'm like,
you're kidding!
I wish I wasn't. Like, I wish I was, but like I also wish I wasn't, because I'm like, oh my god, like it was crazy.
That's destiny. That's destiny.
Exactly. So, was there a moment that surprised you while playing Andrea, or the audience, like, at all?
Definitely. I have a funny answer and a real answer.
Okay. I would love both.
The funny answer is definitely when Chance eats the donut that has been glued together with sunscreen, because
Was that
is
real sunscreen?
Yes, that is real sunscreen. I squirt so much sunscreen on that donut, and he takes a bite every time, and every time the audience screams, and I scream, and we all scream because it is so gross, and he does it. That's real. That is 100% real. I think he goes and spits it out backstage, but I don't know. I'm not there because I'm on stage. So. Yeah. That's my funny answer. Though it is true. It is a real and true answer. It is very shocking. I think what shocked all of us while writing the musical was, first of all, we wrote like 9 songs in 12 days. Like, it was this insane fever dream. We called it like our collective hallucination. We were spending so much time together, like really late nights, writing these songs all together. The music team was me, Angela, Chance, Josh, and Patrick. And then we people would join and help us with lyrics and stuff. Jeremy really helped with Always Unexpected, and but I think so. CityWalk Teenage Love, we wrote that one really late at night, and it just like came out sort of really quickly. And then when we finished, we were like, whoa, I think this is really good. And then I was driving home and we were singing it, and we like got home and texted the group chat like, I think this is really good.
It is.
And then the first time we perform it, and it's actually really good. And Kylie Brakeman, who's on Moon Goon, but she was in New York when we wrote the show, and so when she got to see it for the first time live, she told me afterwards that during CityWalk Teenage Love, she like cried. She cried like actual tears from her eyes. And I've heard that more than once. And I think that is really surprising, that this show is so stupid. And like, it's so dumb, right? It's amazing. It has lines like, what flavor are you? Piss. Like, it's so stupid. And yet it has this like really deep core of emotional realism, I think. That is my favorite kind of comedy to make. I think that surprised us and continues to surprise the audience when we put it up, that like, oh, you might actually feel something during CityWalk, the parody musical. Yeah.
I think cool. I was one of many that got choked up during CityWalk Teenage Love. I know you heard it a lot.
It's crazy.
It's such funny. The lyrics are so funny and strange, I shall say, but
so
it's
bizarre. Yeah.
So bizarre, but so good. It's incredible.
Thank you.
Of course, you're incredible, and I love you.
That's so sweet.
So also continuing the music comedy, Hitch the Musical. We got to talk about it. What was your favorite moment of that? Because I need people to talk about it with.
So that whole process was just so much fun. We just had such a good time making this musical, and it was very chaotic because it's a big project, right? It's a big musical. There's a big cast, big band, big stage, lots of props, lots of costumes, lots of scenes and jokes, and so it was very like an energetic sort of chaotic process, but we were having such a good time the whole time. And we, some people I knew very well, like I knew Chance really well. I know Mariah really well, but I didn't know like Tommy. Tommy and I had met, but weren't super close. Nabil and I had worked together, but weren't super close. And at Ashby I had never met, but by the end of it we'd gotten really close and really, comfortable with each other to play around even on stage. And there's this, I think my favorite moment is spoiler alert, Maple's funeral, because we're we had discovered, we didn't know this, I think, until the performance, that this was kind of a sight gag. Chance had planned this. This was on purpose for Chance. He knew
Everyone
it would
else.
happen, but we didn't have it, like, we hadn't experienced it yet. But Chance does this bit where he's getting hit by a truck all down the aisle of the audience, right? So from the stage down the aisle, he's just getting hit by a truck with all of these crazy sound effects, and he's throwing himself up the aisle all the way back out of the theater. And by the time he's done this, we have changed the set and changed our costumes into funeral blacks, and we've changed it to a funeral. And so people are watching back out the back of the theater, watching Chance. And then you look back, and all of a sudden it's a funeral, and we're just standing in black, like, and somber at his funeral. And it got a huge laugh, a huge sight gag laugh, and that was like a discovery in the show, because we hadn't had an audience yet to get that reaction, how big of a joke that was. And that was awesome. And then during the funeral, Tommy did this hilarious thing where we're just the background, right? There's a whole scene happening with Hitch and Allegra and Kevin. Kevin, thank you. And we're just in the background, but Tommy, like, went up to the there's an urn with his ashes in it, and he, like, opens it up and is like, aha, yes. And, like, he was just checking to see if they were there, and that cracked us up so hard. Oh, and then Dan Leahy as the priest did this improvised bit that he had never told us about, that he was going to do, where he said, maple, what is a maple? And then he said, it's like, someone from Europe considering an apple. Apple. And I almost cried on stage.
I was losing it at midnight in my bedroom.
Yeah, absolutely. So that funeral, I think, was a really good encapsulation of just how hard everybody was playing and how fun it was and how it really all paid off in that moment, because it's also near the end of the show, and so we're feeling like the endorphins of, like, yes, we nailed it. And we get one last big huge laugh at the sight gag of the reveal of the funeral, and we're just, like, at the finish line, just, like, riding those vibes really high. So I think that's my favorite part.
Going back to the sight gag, that also worked for the live stream.
I bet
it worked wonderful for the live stream.
Because the camera's following Chance, and then back, and then all of a sudden we've completely changed, and we're all, like, brushing away tears at his funeral, and that's also funny. Smash cut.
I've never seen the movie. In my defense, I've never seen the movie. I have it on my watch list.
Either.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. I've
never seen it either. We were gonna watch it as a cast, like, together, but we were just too busy.
Yeah,
we were like, we'd rather do rehearsal instead.
So there's, like, a Snapchat of me watching it. It is just me, like, mouth agape going, Maple dies. I was like, what?
Apparently, I didn't know, but Maple dies, I guess. And maybe he doesn't in the original. I don't know.
Maybe that was just
Couldn't
a Chance
tell
thing.
Maybe.
Don't
know. But he
so
makes a beautiful angel.
Amazing, incredible. The closing number is incredible. I think the closing and opening are my two favorites.
I think mine too.
I posted a TikTok.
The closer is what gets stuck in my head the most. That I'm just walking around always singing that closer. It's so good.
I posted a TikTok a while ago of waiter bring me the check, like the ending harmonies. I'm like, gorgeous. So
good.
beautiful.
That's all Nathan. He's so good.
So
He's
beautiful.
So good.
So
I really love Nathan as a music director and as an arranger. He's as a music writer really talented, superlative.
I feel like we've been on musical improv a lot, but I do have one more question about this. I have a question about Pat Pat Club, which I did. I watched the most recent one. What day was that?
You did?
I did. I was there, live stream, obviously.
Awesome.
Sadly, but I did see the most recent one. So, First of all, could you tell us what Pat Pat is about for people who don't know, and they should?
Absolutely. I'm so happy to talk about the Pat Pat Club because it is one of the most exciting shows that is so unique. I've never seen a show like it, and I think it's really, really amazing, and I want to do a 10,000 more. So Patrick McDonald, if you know him, comedian, the best. and a good friend of mine, and Patrick Sargent, an incredible professional jazz musician, band leader, saxophone player, plays everything actually. They are friends, and they were like, well, I love improvised comedy and I love improvised jazz. Why has nobody ever put them together? And so that was essentially the idea. It was just like smushing together improvised comedy and improvised jazz, calling it the Great Jazz Experiment. And it's basically, improvised comedy inspired by improvised jazz, which is then inspired by improvised comedy, which is then inspired by improvised jazz. And this process that eventually melds into one big, beautiful thing. And it is such a fun show.
Such a fun show. And you jazz sing, improvise.
I do, yes. So in this show, so I'm also a professional jazz singer. That's like one of my other jobs. Yeah. And so we joke that like no show has ever been more perfect for me, and no actor, no performer has ever been more perfect for a show, because I'm trained in both of these things.
Everything.
So I actually stick with the band. The band does a few songs by themselves, and then I come out and I do one improvised song based on a suggestion from the audience. And then while the improvisers are doing scenes, I'll add in little vocal stings or vocal jokes or jingles, or sometimes I'll do a full song, or but just little jazz bits in there. And it is my favorite show that I do right now. It's so much fun.
So
I'm so glad you liked it.
Oh my God, it was incredible. Patrick McDonald, if you're somehow listening to this, please do Pat Pat Club every single month. I need it.
That's the plan, Stan. That is the plan.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! Okay.
We've got to find the theater. That's it.
Exactly.
We love doing it.
Come to Chicago. Who said that? Who said that?
Who said that? I love that idea. I don't know why I just had this idea.
Yeah, exactly. Who said that?
Birthplace of comedy.
Exactly.
Improvised comedy. So.
Exactly. So what's your thought process like performing those like improvised songs?
That is a good question. Because comedy is when I'm improvising comedically, I'm trying to think jokes first, game first. Because while I am a good singer, I know people have paid me enough money that I know that. I know I'm a good singer. But I know that in musical improv, the music and the singing is actually the least important part. What's most important is the funny and the game and the improv. So I'm usually thinking, how can I play this game? How can I best, lift up whatever is the funny thing about the scene that this song came from? But in Pat Pat Club, I'm not singing a song from a scene, right? Like we haven't done a scene and that inspires a song. I'm just doing a song straight from just one word. And so a lot of the time I first am thinking of just like a theme or a hook. Maybe it's like the title of the song, or it's the line in the chorus, right? Mm-hmm. Something really iconic, right? Like Abigail, if I got your name as a suggestion, Abigail, I would maybe say like Abigail, don't sail away. And maybe all my song would be about like sailing or like an ocean, about like waving goodbye, or on your currents or something. Abigail, don't sail away. Rhymes are really sticky, right? Like rhyming is not important in comedy unless it heightens the comedy. So if I have a good rhyme, I'm going to use it, but it's more important that whatever I'm saying really be juicy and either very funny or thematic. So you're like planning little things. Sometimes I'll plan a rhyme and then hit it later, or I'm just thinking theme, and we call it like throwing yourself off a cliff, where you just like say a line and then hopefully by the end of the line I've thought of a good rhyme or a good way to end it. But the more you throw yourself off a cliff, the better you get. But that's kind of what I was thinking of for Pat Pat Club, was more just like visuals and emotion. And if there was a good rhyme, I would do the rhyme, but more about like the musicality of playing with the band and the emotion of a jazz song.
It's so beautiful. It's so good. It's so good. I need more people to know about Pat Pat Club because it's the best thing ever.
Hey, tell all your friends. Everybody go watch.
Everyone go watch.
Thank you. You're doing your job, Abigail. Whoever's listening, now you do your job, okay? Because Abigail is spreading the good word. So get on it.
Okay, so you've done CityWalk, which is a parody of a place. You've done Hitch, which is a parody of a movie. If you could do a parody musical about anything ever, what would it be and why?
This is by far your hardest question.
Really?
Yes, I could not come up with an answer. I could not come up with an answer for this one. This one's really tough. But mostly because like I've already done things that I think are amazing. Like I'm a huge sci-fi fantasy nerd, and one of my favorite book series is Game of Thrones, and I did a Game of Thrones parody musical. And
I need to find this. What?
It's maybe there's a recording online, but we toured all over the world. I did it in Australia and Scotland and
sorry,
and
I
here
went
in
to
LA.
Scotland. I went to Scotland this last summer for Fringe. We performed there.
Oh, for Fringe, we did it in the Fringe.
Oh my God!
In I think it was 2018, so it was a while ago.
Yeah, we did it last summer.
Awesome. Oh, isn't the Fringe amazing?
Best place ever. I want to go back.
Yes, it's so beautiful. Fairy tale city in an amazing town where everybody's doing theater. It's incredible.
It's perfect.
But I was really struggling to come up with something because everything, like favorite, everything seems so ripe and great. I love sci-fi and fantasy, so I would say like Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. But then there are already really good Dungeons and Dragons parody musicals, and like some of my favorite TV shows are like Game of Thrones, and maybe something sci-fi like I already did a Star Trek parody musical, so like I've already gotten to like live my dream. I love the things that I've made. I think they're amazing, and it's so hard for me to pick a favorite because there's so many things that I like, but if I could like design it in my mind, it would be something like sci-fi or fantasy, or there would be like dragons or like vampires or like it'd be Seabiscuit, but I'd play the horse, or like we'd all play dolphins or something like absolutely ridiculous. That would be my dream, but this one was so hard for me. I don't know why. The possibilities are endless. Everything can be made fun of lovingly.
Exactly. If you have a good intent.
Yes. You
can make fun of
always. And it's more fun that way when you make fun of something that you actually love. It's way, way, way more fun.
Yeah. So what advice do you have for anyone who is looking to get into live improv and like comedy and stuff? This question totally isn't for me.
No, I love it. I love this question. I have the same answer every time, and it's take classes. And not for the reason you might think. You could be, a total pro, but how do you... Improv is a team sport, right? You can't do it without other people. And how do you meet those people? You meet them by taking classes. And that's how I met all my friends that I make stuff with now is, at UCB, either in a class or we got put on a team together, or they're a friend of a friend. And now all my jobs are because a friend said, hey, I wrote this for you, or like, hey, will you do this reading? Or I'm doing this thing, will you help me write it? It's all from my friends. And so putting yourself in a position where you could meet more people who are doing what you like to do is how you're going to meet your collaborators, right? Because when you'll be in a class and you'll be like, that person is so funny. They do things that I like, right? Like I really vibe with them. Then, you know, you meet up with them. You do scenes with them. You write a show with them. You write a sketch. And that's how you find your people, I think, is by taking classes. It's not always about the content of the class as much as like who's taking it with you. And so it doesn't even need to be a class if it's something else like a practice group or community theater or I don't even know, because the best way I think is to take classes. They don't have to be expensive. They don't have to be prestigious. It just needs to be a place where you can meet people like you. And once you have a community, it merrily rolls along. Like that's what it's all about for me, is community and finding the people who like making things with you or like making things that you like, going to see shows that they do, you know, being in the audience, talking to them afterwards. That's how you're going to make stuff, is finding the people that you'll make it with.
I love that. I want to get that on my. It's true. I want to get that on my grad cap.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, it's all about who you're making stuff with. I truly believe that.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else to add before we wrap up?
No, I don't think so. I think your questions were really great and comprehensive and thoughtful. I was really impressed.
Thank you. Oh my God.
You're very welcome. Really great stuff. I've enjoyed talking with you, Abigail.
I have too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you have anywhere where people could learn like more about you and stuff?
Absolutely. You can find me anywhere on the internet, any platform, at Mary Lou Larry Moo, which is just Mary Lou with the first two letters switched. And I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube even, I think, but though I haven't been there in a while, but you can find me.
Thank you so much again for joining me. I've had an absolute blast.
Yeah, this was a pleasure. Thanks for dealing with the technical difficulties.
Easy peasy. And thank you so much.
And have a great prom.
Thank you! Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Happy prom!
Yay! I will send you pictures if you want them.
Please do. Yeah.
Promise.
Okay, good.
And thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!